content contains adult language and humor that is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The views and opinions expressed during the following video content are those of the individual and may not reflect those of others. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome, one and all, Tuesday night's edition of Pacific414 Pop Talk. I do want to sincerely apologize for the delay in our start time because we were all having various tech issues, and then my ISP decided to take a shit.
I am just happy that everything works with all the technology issues, because it really started to piss me off too.
Hey!
Yeah.
Who invited that guy here?
You
Oh my
guys
God!
already,
We invaded. Europeans are attacking us now. Oh no!
Europeans are coming. Hell yeah, brother.
you guys already heard my rant backstage about all this crap, especially with Restream.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
God.
it's really sad, man. The Restream is gonna have a lot of these issues, you know.
Yeah.
I'm losing audio. Baron has issues with his microphone, and
I
all
get
this.
kicked out just before we're about to go live, and then my ISP, like I said,
Yeah.
What you remember? It did that to me. Remember what? I got kicked out, and then my computer
Yeah.
did a restart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that was rather odd. I even asked you, did your computer download any updates that it was set to do a restart on? And you said no, you already did those updates a couple of days before.
Yeah, I think literally the day before I had that, yeah, it was boom. Then we're talking, and all of a sudden, I couldn't. I don't know what all happened, but then it was like I got knocked out of there, and I tried to get back, and that's when the computer did a restart. So, Restream, you and Mark Hamill both, you know what you can do. Oh hell, I'll do it. Fuck you,
Go,
Restream.
I was gonna say, go ahead and do it.
Just
Go
fuck
ahead
you.
and do it.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way. I like to try to do that some, sometime, but I suppose it's appropriate.
Yeah.
I like to sneak it in somewhere, and there's no way I could think of being able to sneak it into the Crow. So
Yeah, so
oh, that's right. That's how I want
I hate having to do it because of the price alone. But
Yeah.
guys, Sunday we're going back to StreamYard. I hate doing it, but
Oh no.
Yeah, but I totally understand you, especially when we don't have other softwares that works properly, and StreamYard is one of the best one out there. Unfortunately, it's just so unfortunate with the new prices and stuff like that. But what you gonna do, man? What you gonna do?
I'm just letting everybody know. Don't be surprised, especially those watching on Rumble. Don't be surprised if some of these episodes are uploaded because I can't pay for the $45 a month each month. Hell no.
No. Thank you, Mike. Or Jace. Thank you, Jace. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, no problem. No
Appreciate
problem.
it, Jace. Yeah.
And I'm not a simp just because of the picture. I just had to use a picture, okay?
Yes.
You everybody
e-
left have no control over clips right now.
every I'm not even worried about the clip, to be honest with you, Baron. But everybody, welcome to this edition of Pop Talk. Not only on Pacific414 for YouTube and Rumble, but we're also on the Phantom Hooligans. We're also on 540
Hooligan.
Studios,
Yep.
and I don't know if Baron was able to set it up for Baron Orman Tagge's Phantom Legacy. Were you, Baron?
No, I didn't do that. I just wanted to get in. Let's just put it that
I
way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get you, especially at the point we're at for various
yeah.
issues with
Hmm.
Restream and everything. It's like, let's get this started, let's get this rolling, and all you have to do on the Pacific414 side, I can't speak for 540 Studio or the Phantom Hooligans,
Yeah, I'm
is
Hooligan.
handling on the I'm handling it on my side. I have my
yeah,
YouTube open at the same
yeah,
time because it's really sad to see that Restream doesn't have that option where you can see the other streams and all that kind of stuff with messages and stuff like that.
yeah. But all I was going to say was, I have the Cosmi link pinned to the very top of the chat on Pacific Forum for YouTube. I have to do it for Pacific Forum for Rumble, and I will. Just give me a second to do so, but just click on that link above and you can join us for the watch party as we watch The Crow. Now, I will honestly say this is my first time watching The Crow from 1994 with Brandon Lee. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, same here,
Yep.
man. This is just my millions of times I've watched it. Because for me, it is my favorite movie that was ever created. The first movie I gave a 10 out of 10. And as a big fan of Bruce Lee and also a big fan of Brandon Lee, unfortunately, he didn't get to do a lot of movies before his death. But this was his final performance, and they did finish up the movie. Unfortunately, there's a lot more scenes that they wanted to finish, but they couldn't because of Brandon Lee was unfortunately already away before those scenes were finished. Um, and what happened? An accident happened on set, so he did get shot in the filming when they filmed the movie, and unfortunately did pass away. But what they did, the creator of the movie, he wanted to finish this for Brandon Lee and the family, and also the guy who became Brandon Lee's stunt double, his lookalike double, and everything. In this movie is also the guy who became to create the John Wick movies.
And Lady Miss, good evening. And
Oh,
again,
hi.
sorry about the
Hey,
delay, but we were having technical issue after technical issue. But if you'd like to watch the movie with us, I have the Cosmi link pinned to the top of the chat. Now, when you get into Cosmi, Jace will be starting the movie on his end. What we all have to do on our end is hit the play button on our end so we can actually view and hear the movie. Jace has provided this movie so graciously, and
yep, Blu-ray remastered 4K version.
I hope you've been well, Lady Miss. It's good to see you. So, Jace, whenever you're ready, brother.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm ready. Hope you guys are ready, and I hope the audio will work for everybody.
I
And
think we got
let
the rants out of the way.
and of course, let's get into this
All right.
amazing movie.
Woo!
One of the best movies ever created. So,
All
1, 2, 3.
It's still not as high as Rebel Moon 1 and 2, but it's close to it.
Now, this is better than
right.
Rebel Moon and
Uh, why is it looping?
Yeah, I thought it was me.
I thought it was me. I thought I did something.
what?
It,
There,
there it
there,
goes.
there we go.
Okay.
Because it depends if you guys also touch something, because Mike and Cash have access to pause and everything.
No, I'm not touching
All I
anything
did
over
was
there.
hit play. That's all I
hit
need,
was
so I can
play,
hear
yeah.
it.
Yeah, so if you guys click play and all that, Mike and Cash, yeah. You also have control.
No, but I hit the play icon on the screen. I didn't hit the button itself.
Yeah, when you play,
Right.
when you Mike, you and Cash are moderators on my Kosmi. So when you guys press play, you press
I
play
don't
for
right.
everybody.
I didn't realize that you made me a moderator on there.
Me either.
Me neither before I saw it.
But it seems to be jumping a lot. I don't know about you guys, but I get lag.
You have a lot of lag?
Yeah.
I'm not having any lag.
Either.
Okay, maybe it's on my side.
Hey, too late, missed. It's good to see you.
Don't forget me, Lady Miss. Hi.
Aaron, I need attention today.
You're right, I do.
This was, Brandon Lee's breakout movie too.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that's Ernie Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
How is it for you, Baron, by the way? No? Still lagging or working?
It's still laggy for me, but again, that's probably on my side.
Lady Mist, since you're watching with us, do you have any lag? Any issues? Everything works fine? If I don't remember wrong, they actually used ravens in the start here
Mm-hmm.
because they couldn't like use crows and stuff, and ravens were a lot easier to learn and control for the movie sets.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know,
They're
Lady
smart
Miss.
birds.
That's good, lady. So I guess it's on Baron's side only. Hopefully it will be
Yeah.
fixed. Try to go in and out maybe of cost. Maybe that can work, or internet or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll give that a chance in just a moment here. I'm just checking something. There we go.
Working better?
Yeah. Later, Gator.
Yes, Lady Mist. Ravens are really smart. That's why they use ravens. Easier to teach. That's why they use a lot of
Mhm.
ravens in movies instead of crows.
Mhm.
A man who knows how he likes his mustard on his hot dog.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And look at that. We had diversity back in the day.
Yep. And he's smoking. Oh my God.
Mhm.
The fun part, I'm gonna say this, they kind of made that into a joke through the movie because
Mm.
Brandon Lee was smoking so much in real life, so it's like a joke for him, kind of. Well, she's not wrong.
Yeah, I did. Hey, what's wrong with you guys?
They're scum. That's what's wrong with them.
Yeah, they
I
are.
know.
Here he comes.
I didn't know that actually.
I didn't know that either.
Oh,
And this movie has a great soundtrack too.
Well, the '90s had some great music.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Love to have that car.
Me too.
No, no
She
shit.
was just nibbling at that.
Yeah, never fun to waste a cigarette.
Okay, cat.
Mm-hmm. It just paused for me.
It just paused. Shit.
Yeah. I did nothing.
Don't pick up the cat, Rob.
I didn't touch anything.
I think it was the
Jace, you
cat.
hear us?
It's the cat.
Nope, Jace is out.
Oh, that's probably why.
All right. Well,
Get your floaties. Just kidding.
yeah.
Oh boy. Get your oars.
What the hell has been happening lately?
The storm,
Ah.
the storm is coming. The
All right.
hurricane is going to show up now. You know whose fault it is? It's DJ Ronnie G. For some reason, his turtles got into the.
No, it's Bill's fault.
We're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
The
Yeah.
turtles, man. He was like, DJ Ronnie G's like, go, my turtle friends, go and destroy things.
Go and be free.
Go and be free, turtles. Yeah.
All right. Give me a second. I'm gonna do something just so we could pick up where we left off. But I have to do it first.
Well,
So just stand by, everybody.
stand by.
So we'll just wait till Jace gets back.
Jace is back.
Prepare for primary ignition. Stand by.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
I can
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah.
It
No,
kicked you out. I didn't touch
Yeah,
anything.
I know. Did I get to pause the Kosmi?
It kind of did. Then it turned off.
It did. Then it went away after you went away. So
Mm-hmm.
so I was just gonna go ahead and rent it on Amazon.
No, we will fix it. We will fix it. Because I tried to pause it. That was I was trying to do. I'm back on Kosmi. I just wanted to pause it. But I kind of panicked when I saw stuff happening. So hopefully I did.
Hey, Tim is here.
Yes, welcome, Tim.
Where did we drop off before I got kicked out of
It was just when he picked up the white cat,
Yes.
the long-haired white cat,
Mm-hmm. Meow.
and as soon as he picked it up, he had a flash where the cat
flashback,
was
yeah.
hissing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So no, I got kicked out. Sorry, guys. I did pause it. So don't worry about it. We're starting over where we ended.
Hi, kitty.
It was nothing to do with my internet or Cosmi. I just got kicked out of Restream for some reason.
Restream. You're not making a good impression tonight.
Never pick up the white cat, I guess. Shit.
That's why I don't got one.
But the thing is that he can see memories and stuff like that.
Yeah, I figured that.
And their cat was there.
Good to see you, James. Good to see you, Tim. No, it's not your fault.
Or Restream, don't kick me out again.
Tits and ray guns. What in the wide world of sports is this? It's our watch party for the month.
It is such a good scene.
Yeah, it is.
Now I can hear you guys again. Good.
Good.
Fire it up! Fire it up!
A typical evening at Chase Fox's home.
You know what I was gonna say? That's us when we're trying to get a stream going. Fire it up.
Yes,
Fire it up.
exactly.
On Restream, yeah.
And what's also good to keep in mind is that this movie is really different than the comics, and it was for the better too when it came to the movie. With a lot of it. And some stuff I wish they kept, of course.
Mm-hmm.
As a comic book fan.
Yeah, it is.
Aww. Spring Bride. Mm.
And of course, Jace, you, I, and every wrestling fan knows what this movie helped inspire.
Yep. Sting.
Yep.
Even though Sting have said multiple times they've not seen the movie. And it was his manager who wanted him to be the Crow.
Meow. Oh, now Kitty Cat's nice.
Yep. We are
Nice
watching The
artwork.
Crow from 1994. It's in the title.
I enjoy the cinematography in this already.
Yep.
It's really good.
If you
That's some good words, man.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us how you really feel,
Oh,
brother.
that's the guy from Seinfeld and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Tony Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really good actor. I don't
A
like
very honorable
Skunkhead.
warrior.
He has some great lines in The Rock.
Hey, man, he's the Candyman, man.
I know. I found that out a few years ago. I was like, oh shit.
Jay's going to work at his night job.
Yeah, that's my night show, brother.
Tony, we hardly knew ye.
Oh,
He is not fighting like a Clearon warrior.
Nope.
wrong answer.
Yep.
Don't ruin the movie. You're wrong. How are you doing
Don't
tonight?
worry.
I can't see what he's saying, so it's all right.
Oh, don't worry. I'm on it. Trust me. I'm on it. Ow, that got hurt.
We all love that quote.
If
Love
we
that
were
quote.
writing a script, Baron or whatever, that's the kind of stuff we would write, dude. I'm sure of it. That we've talked
Something like
about
And also,
before.
this is also a big difference in the movie is that
Well,
also
because
in the
you know.
comics, Eric is
Oh, really?
a
Okay.
mechanic and stuff like that for bikes and
Mhm.
all that other stuff. But in the movie, they changed him to be fitting more into being a musician and stuff like that. And it was a good change to promote, the Cure and other bands and music and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what they used to do.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's why I don't think it's unfortunately ever going to happen, but we're never going to get that soul and passion back that we had in the 90s, especially the 80s, early 2000s. There was still more passion, unfortunately. There he is.
That bowl cut is what Cash Money's gonna get. His future haircut.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm waiting until Jace puts on the makeup and runs around Norway as the Crow.
Are we all old enough to watch this movie?
He's
No. You know
Cover
me.
your
I'm
eyes,
very
people.
mature.
Cover your eyes.
No way. That was a cute bouquet.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
Gosh, that guy's sick.
No, I'd say she is too.
Yep. I try to ride a skateboard. I still fall on my butt.
I used to skateboard a lot before.
I used to skateboard too.
Never, because I knew I'd kill myself.
Oh.
And that's the actor I feel so bad for, because he was the one who had the gun that unfortunately
Yep.
Brandon Lee died of,
Yep.
unfortunately,
Oh.
and his life was ruined after that. He was so sad, went to a big depression and all that kind of stuff, and I feel bad for him too.
Hmm. Oh yeah, because
How could that not affect you for the rest of your life?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean he's not like Alec Baldwin.
No, he's not.
Yeah, and when people defend Baldwin, or still, if I'm sure there's people out there who still do, I just roll my eyes.
Well,
How
SNL
many
does
times
them
I've
on
done
the
that
show.
makeup on Halloween?
Oh,
Well, I mean, I hear you dressed like that all the time.
yeah, isn't he? He goes
Yeah,
outside
right.
that
Yeah.
way.
I thought it was Cash that dressed like that.
No way, man. That's all Jay's,
Oh,
dude.
Yeah, it's
He's
all
only
me,
when
man.
not me.
only when he grabs an Arnold Palmer putter.
Sure. And I look for a guy named Baron.
Ouch.
That sounds like
Mr. Gideon, you're not paying attention.
ouch.
That's just a flesh wound. It's fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine, dude. Take a couple of aspirin, you'll be good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just drink some whiskey or beer and you'll be fine.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Hey, look, it's a pincushion.
that guy had a bit. Who's that?
He had a
sack of
rough
shit?
party last night.
Who's this sack of shit?
I guess he didn't cut it.
Aha.
You know, I miss when police officers looked like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm, mm.
I'm liking Ernie Hudson in this too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Oh, Ernie Hudson's a good actor.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
wish he-
saying he isn't.
Oh yeah. But it shows his versatility.
Exactly.
That's the one.
Thank you.
You know,
Eh,
he would have been a good Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think?
Yeah, I could see him as a Joker. Yeah.
Yeah, with the Dark Knight trilogy, where do you think the inspiration come from?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Oh shit!
Oh, Killing Knight.
Wow.
Well, he's just gone out of business.
Hey, he thinks he's Fonzie.
Mhm.
Hey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Hmm.
Again, that's where Heath Ledger really got its inspiration from in
Makes
Mm-hmm.
that
sense.
movie.
Very cool. Oh.
That's why I said I was never a big fan of his Joker, because for me it was just a rip-off of this.
Yeah. Inspiration for
I,
sure.
I, I would say it's more of an homage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she does some wicked shit.
Yeah, that was someone's
Yeah.
eyeball. So yeah,
Yeah.
burning. Yes. That guy's a winner.
Yeah.
He's got a dragon lady for a girlfriend. Of course he is.
Yeah.
Breakfast of Champions.
Oh man.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, for reason it's one of my favorite my all-time favorite movie. I tell them off. Good girl.
Sometimes.
That famous quote.
We don't even get real good banter like this anymore.
We've talked about this over and over again, guys. It drives
Yep.
me crazy
Yeah, well,
how weak.
I'm still gonna point it out.
I do too. How weak the dialogue can be. It's just one-liners. It's the same with. Remember what we saw in that game, man. The Life is Strange game, Jace. Look at how they've just dummied down the dialogue, man. It's terrible, bro.
Right, bruh.
Yeah.
He played a drug addict so well in this movie too.
Yep. He did.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh.
Shot himself in the leg.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're worried about there, buddy?
No,
Well, he
not
is
about the
flying
blood.
high.
Yeah, I
Yes.
guess. Yeah, I know. Oh.
All these houses and homes.
I was gonna say something tells me he's not there to kill her.
No.
No, he's irreverent. He's out to kill the guilty.
Man, I wish I had the power to do that. That's crazy.
Well, the whole Crow universe is about heaven and hell, so
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
it's a crazy universe when you look into the whole thing.
I guess I'd be
I
shaking a
bet.
bit too.
I bet he's drinking the pain away.
Oh yeah. My.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, not forced humor.
Exactly. Not
It's
at
more
all.
natural.
That's right. Force humor and one-line dialogue and just throwing in stuff to think that things are funny just because you think it is. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, it's cheap. A lot of writing nowadays in industry is cheap, unfortunately. Not all of it, except like when you guys watch The Penguin, that is not cheap writing.
Now he wants to see what he saw.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still a funny joke because Brandon Lee was smoking as heck in real life.
But
It's like in every interview, you can basically see him with a cigarette in his hand.
you know, you know, even though it is a supernatural
Mm-hmm.
superhero fantasy
Right.
movie,
Right.
that's some of the most realistic dialogue and interplay you have. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and natural.
Yes.
That's a quote
That's
Well,
what that,
unquote.
I
that's
was
what
going
James
to say that
O'Barr
this
also wrote the
dialogue has
comic, you know.
purpose to it.
That's right.
Mhm. Yeah, you had Red Bull. That's why. Mm-mm.
He's a freak, man.
Yeah.
It's the half sister, so hey, they did it before Game of Thrones.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, it's not the first time. Won't be
No.
the last time.
Of course. Well,
So long, dude.
Hmm.
Sweet home Alabama.
It's his half sister.
Oh, kitty cat.
I have a figure with Branley and the crow in that window. An old diamond figure from
Nice.
Company Diamond. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I also have a figure with him and the table where he takes the makeup on. I unfortunately lost the mask to it because it also had a mask they had in the movie, but I
Oh,
love that one.
That's
Okay.
no good.
hey, what's those things?
What are those,
Records. Those
man?
are
Come
called
on.
Yeah,
records.
what are those? I also have a Funko
Did,
Pop of
didn't
the
you
Crow.
notice the record
Only
player?
Funko Pop I own.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked, Jace. That's pretty cool, though. What was the
You know
joke?
what? You know what's funny?
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
No.
we had them 30 years ago, and record players and records themselves have made a comeback.
To some
Yes.
extent, they have, yeah,
I love
especially
record
with the
players.
vinyl,
Man.
yeah. Mhm.
When I move away from this apartment where I live now, I'm gonna get one. So
Mhm.
I got my grandparents' one. I just need to get speakers for them.
Well, it'll be nice when you can finally get into a much better area from what you've told me, Jace. It's like,
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a lot
Mhm.
better. And also the difference here with Eric here in the comics is nicer here than the comics.
Really nicer.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
gotcha.
And he's more insane in the head in the comics. He also does self harm and stuff like that.
Oh.
He goes through a lot of depression and stuff like that in
Well,
the original.
when someone can shoot you in the hand or whatever, and then you can heal like that, yeah, I would think
Yeah, it's really different. I recommend reading the comic of the difference also.
I might do that sometime.
Now, let me ask you this, Jace. You saw the one that came out this year.
Yep.
What do you like about this version more than you like about the newer version?
Good question.
What I like about this, it is the story itself. Because again, it's a simple story, just like the comics. You know, losing a loved one, and you get revenge and all that. And I like the acting in this movie, the cinematic in this movie, the performance of course, Brandon Lee, and the way he delivers his lines and how he really lived into the character. Because he was also a big fan of the Crow himself. He really loved the comic. And I like that when it comes to even certain fight scenes, they're not overly done with martial arts. Because again,
Ooh.
remember, Brandon Lee is a
Hey,
martial artist. Oh, just like his father. Um, no, it's basically
is
everything with
that a
this movie.
Hugo?
Yes,
That's a
Baron.
Hugo.
Yes,
And
Baron, it is.
and I love the dark elements of it. And when you delve more into the story of the world of the Crow, it's just more impressive, because it is about redemption. It's about revenge, redemption, and a
Hmm.
lot of stuff in his heart and stuff like that. And they also got the humor right in this movie.
Hmm.
And the thing about humor is it doesn't have to be out of place. You can have it where
No,
it fits with the dialogue.
Hmm.
exactly.
And for its time, they did something really unique with this movie too. Because we didn't have, a lot of heroes that were kind of like this.
No.
And also, when you know about the backstory of the Crow and what inspired the Crow, it's insane with James Tobar. And this is just one of the few times a movie did better than the comic itself.
Hmm.
And of course, I love the music. It's a 10 out of 10 music choice for this movie. And if Brandon Lee didn't pass away because of the accident, there were talks that we're gonna make 2 more movies of The Crow with him.
Well, just imagine how his career would have been if he hadn't been
Yeah, this was
accidentally
his
shot.
breakout role. It was his breakout role to get out of
Hmm.
his father's footsteps
Right.
and do what he wants to do. He was also one of the original choices that they wanted for Matrix as Neo.
Hmm.
I think he would have worked out.
Yeah.
That's why I'm happy, also they got Keanu Reeves because Keanu Reeves and Brandon Lee, they look really similar and they have a lot of the same acting methods and personality in movies and real life and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But if he didn't
Hmm.
pass away, it would have been really interesting to see him as Neo. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie. And what I also like about this movie, Brandon Lee could show his acting skills, his strength, that he could do a lot more than just martial art movies.
Hmm.
Well, like you said, he wanted to break out of his father's shadow
Yeah,
so that he can do more than martial arts flicks.
yeah. Bye bye.
That's
He'd see
boom.
that cargo.
He lost his friend. Oh no. What a sad day.
He was a
I'm
piece of
crying.
crap, anyways. Oh, cool.
Hmm. Not what you want to see by a grave.
Nope.
I do really enjoy the story they did with her and the mother and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's oh my gosh.
What?
No, maybe not. I thought that was somebody else. I thought I had seen before in some other things, but I had to look at the face again.
I remember as a kid, I started getting tears from this scene with them. Again, this is the best movie ever made.
Well, I can see why a lot of people have high praise for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And like I've said before, I don't need Marvel or DC. I need a crow. And some of the fond memories I have with the movies that was the first movie I bought with my own money as a kid. And I still have the DVD to this day with the steel cover. I
Nice.
still have it to this day.
Well, I mean, that's a keepsake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Nobody's allowed to touch it if they visit me. That's my big prize.
It's in a plastic. It's in a case and electrocution and
I will go
it's
full
like
crow on you.
if you touch it, then like there's gonna be spikes in there. So yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just say it has tighter security than Fort Knox.
Yes.
Uh,
Exactly. That's what was so great about this time. This time, organic, authentic, diversity was in movies.
You want to
Yeah.
know something
Not
else
forced.
that helped movies like this? There was no social media.
Yeah.
Exactly.
not really. No, there was just the news and the people weren't.
I mean,
there was
AOL
there's
was in
comment
its
sections
infancy.
and stuff. Yeah, there was comment sections, but no, there wasn't.
Well, you had People Magazine, Us,
Mm-hmm.
National Enquirer, stuff like that. But
I love these movies were already diverse back in the day, organically,
yep.
and nobody thought about it.
Mhm.
It's like, is it a good
No,
movie? That was
because
the whole thing.
yeah,
Was it good?
that's
Was it
right.
shit? That was all.
Because all the acting and all the characters make sense and stuff. Now they just throw things at a wall.
This is what I
and
really
throw
like with the movies,
lot
the
of it.
flashbacks, how they do the flashbacks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they even films nowadays, shows, they don't care about the little things, which really drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them do, but many of them just don't.
There's only like one continuity error in this movie that nobody really knows about before they look at Eric's hands.
Mm.
You saw that he's taped up his hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The reason is because they forgot when they were filming basically that he can heal. So he kind of hurt himself as the crow. So he kind of spiked his hands and then he kind of patched it up. And that was like an error mistake they did with the movie. Not a biggie or anything. You don't notice it really, but it was like a little error they made back in that time.
Yeah.
I think it's unacceptable.
Okay.
But I mean, you can look through TV series, other movies, and you can find continuity
Small things
mistakes.
here
and-
there.
Yes,
Yeah.
always. Yeah, you can always find some kind of errors probably if you look hard enough in any movie,
Yeah.
any show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And all the time. It is.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, we never got the full version of Brandon Lee singing it. And it's kind of sad. Because he could sing. He could sing. Bruce Lee could tap dance. Brandon Lee could sing a little. You know, they had their secret talents.
No.
And see, it has these heartwarming, touching moments when they're appropriate.
Yep.
Nowadays,
Fire
it
it
would be
up.
on YouTube.
Fire it up. Mumble rap before mumble rap.
Mhm. I think you're going to be dead long before that.
Meow.
Also, they did
I
change
hear
the name.
rage.
They also changed the name of Sarah in this movie. Because in the comics, her name was basically Sherry, almost
Mm.
almost Shelley. So because of they didn't want to confuse the viewers, they changed her name to Sarah instead. Just a fun fact about the movie.
Well, you
I
can
think if I,
understand why.
Oh yeah, it's like when
yeah,
you read the comics, the names are too similar.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I ever get a cat, I'm gonna get a cat like that white cat.
Yeah,
Meow.
beautiful.
Hmm
You hate cats. Come on, don't lie.
I don't hate cats. I like dogs better, but I don't hate cats.
Oh, now he's going Peter Town.
So Jace in the comics was Eric also was Eric the same name in the comics as it is in the movie, or
Yeah, his name was Eric Draven.
okay?
Yeah. It's the same name.
And he was also in a band too in the comics, or
No, he was a mechanic.
Mechanic.
oh, he's the mechanic. Interesting.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Top Dollar. Was not the main villain in the comic. I don't remember who the villain was in name in the comic, but he was not the original, main villain. So that was a big change in the movie too. It's
Hmm.
like a lot of this movie's changed. A lot is changed.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Okay.
That's why I say this movie could have problems. If this version was made today, it could have gotten a lot of problems for not being accurate to the comic.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Of course she does.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, that's right. Now I remember. T-Bird, I think T-Bird was the original main villain in the comic.
Hmm.
So that was a big change, if I don't remember wrong. Yeah, I had to double check. I have to double check just so I remembered right. T-Bird was the head of the gang originally.
Yeah. Well, those guys aren't having a good day, are they? That's us on gaming night.
Yeah, that's right.
Have a seat. Just a little panic.
And if I don't remember wrong, in the comic, only Eric can see the crow. Nobody
Yep.
else.
Hmm.
Seems about right.
Yeah. The, in the Crow universe, this didn't happen with Eric per se, but the crows can basically talk to you like normal.
Hmm.
What the crap?
Little running.
Ah.
So I do really like the change in this that the crow doesn't talk to him, like it does happen a little bit in the comics.
Hmm.
But because it would kind of look weird, you know, it's gonna be hard to take the serious tone if the crow were talking in a movie to him.
Yeah. No.
It would be interesting to actually see if Brandon Lee didn't pass away. It would have been interesting to see where they would have taken the two other movies, the sequels they wanted to do with him. because there's so much more to explore in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do think about it, it has a lot of Christian elements in it, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Also a little Viking elements when it comes to crows and stuff like that, and our beliefs with the crows. So it would have been really interesting to see if they would have dwelled more into the heaven and hell aspect of the Crow universe in the other movies. They did get to do that in the new version of the movie, though.
Mm. Not a smart move. Mm.
I'm back. Just need to talk to my sister about a few things.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, I was kicked again and I lost connection with Restream on my end. So I'm no longer live on YouTube. Sorry, everybody.
Mm.
Mm.
StreamYard disconnected me.
Ernie Hudson to the rescue. Good job, Ernie. Mhm.
We're
Aw,
home, Alabama.
brotherly love.
Right? Right?
He's like,
It's
it's my
really
half
close
sister,
family.
man. Come on.
Just really close family, right?
Something. It's my half sister.
She happens to be my lover.
I'm sick in the head. Yes, we get that.
Insane in the membrane.
That's right. You got it, buddy.
Exactly. No, the fun thing sometimes when you watch this movie, like the whole you just forget about the comic when you kind of watch this movie sometimes, and because this movie was just so good as it is, you know, as its own thing too.
Oh, gotta watch out.
I don't think the bird likes her.
No, she just.
How apt to bring that eyes were.
And he's just like, "Yep,
He's like, yep, that just happened.
yep, that just happened. Yep,
Yeah.
I should probably stop smoking. I
That
guess, you
crazy
know."
bitch just fell out. Yeah. She go bye bye.
Yeah, went bye bye. She was not a crow, you know, can't fly.
That's right. That's a good one.
What I love about his fight scenes, you know, it just looks so real, you know, it's not overly done or anything. They're not over powerful or anything like that.
They knew how to keep things basic and simple.
Right.
Yep.
But yet effective.
Oh. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, that's gonna leave a.
Damn, bro.
30 hours of pain. I leave you. Love that.
All at once.
Don't
that
worry.
movie,
After
yeah.
tonight, I won't be using Restream anymore.
Restream! Like Mike's gonna he's gonna later on tonight. He's like, you have tortured me enough, Restream.
Whedon!
I told you. I mean, Restream worked for us last Friday, but
And the ending of this movie is really similar to the comic itself, just a little different.
Mm.
Because in the comics, they kind of hinted that he committed he took his own life at the end. But this version made it, a little bit, better in that kind of sense, in my
Yeah,
view. Like
passing the veil.
yeah, it's like the Crow comic is not perfect, but I still love it. It's one of the best ones. But it was kind of weird, some weird stuff here and there. But I still love it, one of my favorite comics.
Oh,
Her ring, yeah. Hmm.
Perfect ending for the movie.
he
Yeah,
brought it to Cash's eye. What's this one?
there we go.
Hear that? I heard him sneak.
You're funny, Baron.
Very good movie.
I have no
Really good
emotions,
movie.
Baron. That's you. Come on. No, it's a really good film.
You understand why I say it's a 10 out of 10 movie and why it's my favorite movie?
Well, I can understand why you love it and so many other people love it.
Yeah.
I mean, Stone Loki loves it and Lady Mist loves it. I mean,
Mhm.
Excuse me. When we had our poll back in August, asking folks to vote what movie we're going to watch, and The Godfather won that, but The Crow was on that list. I was thinking to myself after The Godfather won, I was thinking, you know what, we could still have The Crow, but let's have it around Halloween.
Yeah, because that is the perfect, because it is set in, Halloween and all that. So it is a perfect Halloween movie. It really is.
Yeah, really good film.
Well, you know how this came about, Lady Mist, is Jace was messaging me saying that he wanted to have a watch party of The Crow, and I told him I was thinking about having The Crow be one of our watch
Yeah,
parties for the
great
month.
minds think alike.
So we put our heads together and thought, excuse me, I got some crap in my throat. But we put our heads together and decided, you know what, let's do a simulcast watch party
Yeah.
instead of, one of us doing a watch part of it one week and then another doing it another week. Why don't we just do a simulcast and have everybody
Yeah.
from all channels come and watch it with us?
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, while we were watching, Restream did disconnect. If anybody watched on our side, sorry for that, because it did disconnect from my channel with this
Yeah.
Restream.
Yeah. Well, Restream, as far as streaming for games is concerned, it's fine, but using their live service for doing a panel show or anything, I'm not impressed.
Yeah, it's not so good.
Oh,
It's
but
really not.
instead of talking about that, for you guys, what did you like about the movie, the aspects and all that kind of stuff? I want to hear
No,
your
we
guys.
want to yell about Restream some more. Come on, man. Yeah.
Cash is passionate, folks.
Really
Yeah.
appreciate that, Lady Miss. Thank you.
I
Always
just
appreciate it when you're able to stop by,
Yeah.
or when
Yeah.
anyone is able to stop by, even if it's just for a little bit.
Yeah, we need to do this once
the
again.
the characters for me, the death sequence, the banter. There's a lot to like about this movie, at least for me. I love, I saw the Gordon Batman relationship between Eric and the cop, especially when he vanished. There's
Yeah.
just very cool stuff.
But you have to agree that your favorite character was Top Dollar and his relationship.
Top dollar. Yeah, he's a nutcase, but that's all right. I appreciate quality villains, and so yeah.
I appreciate they kept the story to a minimum.
Yes.
They didn't try to expand on too much,
Nope, they
and
didn't. They
the
wanted you to.
dialogue
Yes.
it
Dialogue
worked.
is great. It's really good dialogue, and it's so
Yeah.
organic and so natural when they
Mhm.
talk. And I don't remember which scene it was. If it was well, he was killing, and killing that I always forget his name, the drug addict, and saving the mother, or if it was in the shop, the pawn shop. I don't remember which of those scenes were a little improvised, because I know that Brandon Lee did some improvising in one of those scenes. It might have been when he talked about Christ. That might have been the improvised scene. I'm trying to remember, but I know he improvised one of the scenes.
Mhm.
And it works, when you don't even notice that was improvised. It just feels like it's part of the movie, and that's great acting when an actor can actually do that.
Oh yeah.
And Brandon did it really, really perfectly. What about you, Baron? What do you like about the movie?
Well, I seen the movie before, way back when, and forgive me for saying this. Back then, I don't know, it didn't hit me. It didn't do anything for me. But the rewatching now, of course, I figure I was chalking up. That's why I was kind of eager to see it again. To chalk it up. Well, that was like how many years ago? It wasn't long after it came out on
Mhm.
video that I saw it.
Yeah,
And all that. So it's been a good 30 years. Um,
yeah,
I don't want to say that. but yeah, I mean, the very atmospheric for one. They kind of kept to that little to that same tone like the Dark Knight. I mean, not Dark Knight, but Batman '89 had, where you did have that darkness, that interplay, and there the city was just as much of a character as anything else. And of course, now as you know, of course, Jace, the old Norse had a version of an undead that was like the crow, and
Yep.
basically everything was to come back and basically get their revenge, and then they can pass on. Yeah, which exactly is what Eric Draven was doing in this one. So
Yeah,
you can see that
because
drawn.
that's the point with it, and that's why like I say also is that when you also watch the movie and also read the comics, of course, there is a lot of Viking mythology based on it on certain
Mhm.
aspects, but it's a lot more Christianity on a lot of other aspects.
Yeah.
And that's why I also say if you like this movie, I really recommend the comics. To a certain point, I think you should stop with Death and Rebirth, because one of the writers of this movie, he did write Death and Rebirth. He wrote that comic, so he got to
Hmm.
continue doing some more Crow stuff for James O'Barr, and I think that's pretty cool. So he got
Hmm.
to make that comic, and that's based in Japan. And in that one, you learn a lot more about hell and heaven too. Because what happens again is that the soul to the crow in this comic, her soul goes down to hell, and when you go down to hell, it's many different hells that you have to go through, and
Hmm.
that demon, he eats souls, he feeds on souls, and all this kind of stuff. You may deal with the devil stuff and shit like that. And at the end, like they showed here too, that I think is really great, that you can kind of see them going to heaven after he did his work, after he did
Hmm.
what he had to do, because that's what they do in the comics. Basically, you go to heaven
Right.
after you've done it. So it's really strong. It's really strong, impactful when you think about that in the comics and the movie. The message of it is really beautiful.
Right. Exactly. So I mean, obviously, it has much more meaning now. Being I'm much more older. Uh, uh, but of course, the character. I mean, again, just watching it again. Seeing the talent that Brandon Lee had, of course, and of course, it kind of hits even more, harder to home that this was his big breakout, as you keep on saying, which is true, and unfortunately, his last as well. And
Hmm.
like you, have been interesting to see where he would have gone in his career with this.
Yep.
So, he had a great performance in there, and everything was organic. I mean, again, this is a supernatural fantasy superhero, whatever you want to call it, right?
What what
But
what we
yet,
normally
every
call it is a gothic superhero movie, or a gothic
yeah,
hero movie. It's basically
right,
some of us calls it, because it is really gothic compared to other stuff.
right.
And what is also really fun about this movie is that the version that we are watching is not the one they provided at the cinema back in the day.
Mhm.
Because when it came out on DVD, VHR, and all that kind of stuff, that was kind of the final version of the movie, and you got like more extended scenes and all this kind of stuff. The other movies, they were a little shorter and stuff like that, the original, when they showed it, so that's kind of fun information.
Yeah,
They actually redid it for the better when it came out on VHR and DVDs and stuff like that. And there are also still certain deleted scenes that I wish they kept in.
right.
But you can always find them online, of course. They were not like 100% finished. There is also a scene that unfortunately got cut, and that is yeah, VHS. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
uh, and well, there is a scene where you have one of the characters. I don't remember his name, but he has a skull head. I know it's Skull something.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
uh,
yeah. Hmm.
yeah, Skull Cowboy or something.
Hmm.
And he was gonna kind of explain to Eric a little bit of his powers and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So you did have that because that's from the comics, and they did have that in this movie, but
Right.
unfortunately, the scene was never finished. So they had to cut that scene, and it's really sad. It's really sad that
Hmm.
Brandon Lee had to pass away that he did, and there was so much they had to
Yeah.
cut, and it was such a heartbreak to finish the movie. I remember the guy who, Alex, who directed this movie and stuff like that. He talked about, the heartbreak and how hard it was to finish it because they didn't know if they were going to finish it after he passed away. Um, and but he did it, because he wanted to give Brandon Lee the final present. Brandon Lee really cared about this movie. He gave his all in this movie, and again, it helped that he was a big fan of the comics, the original comic. He loved it so much, and I'm happy they finished it. I'm happy they did this, and I will always agree with Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee always wanted this movie to be unique in another way. Even though some people have problems with black and white, I will never understand why people have problems with black and white. I personally like black and white to certain stuff.
Hmm.
Um, so what Brandon Lee really wanted to do with this movie is that he talked about it in an interview while he again was smoking, because that's kind of a fun joke through the whole movie that you have to stop smoking. And one thing you have to think about when it comes to Chinese culture, and remember, Brandon Lee was half Chinese. In China, they smoke constantly.
Oh
Hmm.
They
yeah.
smoke a lot, and Brandon Lee was one of those people who was smoking so much in interviews and private life. Uh, So it was kind of a fun when you think about it. It's kind of a fun inside joke, with the whole cigarette stuff. Like that kills you, and you have Brandon Lee, just like I smoke a lot in real life.
Oh,
So
it's
you're gonna
not the first time that's happened with a
exactly,
tease. Ewan
and
McGregor was suffering the same on the set of Star Wars as well.
yeah,
But
and
as I was saying though
I just want to
before, but
finish.
even though, oh sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to finish that. Is that Brandon Lee wanted, when he was the Crow himself, he wanted everything to be black and white, to
Hmm.
show that, this is when he's dead, he's not alive anymore. Now he's this undead creature who got powers from who knows, but he got the power of a god, basically, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
And and then when you get to the flashback, he wanted them to be in colors, to show that this is the time where Eric was alive. To do it a little bit
Hmm.
different than other movies, that's something he really wanted to do, and I think that could have been really cool to see, if it was. I have been debating of like doing a fan edit of this movie, not re-editing or anything, or removing stuff, not anything like that. But what I've been thinking is that I will kind of want to do a black and white version where all the scenes where he is the Crow is in black and white, and then you have the flashback, of course, in colors. And then I also want to use some of the deleted scenes that were not 100% finished, because you can see certain things here and there, but that's easy to edit. And if you use black and white on that, it kind of doesn't look like a deleted scene anymore, right?
Hmm.
So that's something I really want to do, just for honoring Brandon Lee's wish. That's something I really want to do. Just make like an extended version with the black and white and coloring that he wanted. That's how much I like the movie that I kind of want his wishes to happen. You know what I mean?
Why not do it?
Yeah.
Well, I work with movies. I work as a film editor, and I am pretty good at it,
Mhm.
as I hear. So,
Okay.
but yeah, hey to Janet, by the way.
Yes, it is
Oh,
great to see Janet from another planet. I hope you're doing
hi
well this
Janet.
evening.
Hey, Janet.
Good to see you, Janet. But like I was saying, even though basically gothic superhero film and all that, the conversations between the characters were so natural.
Yep.
I mean, and believable, even though it's a fanciful world. And
Yeah,
like Cash was saying, the banter, even the conversation between the crow and the cop and all that. Um, it was that's what helped, and these are things I think were severely missing in cinema these days. Is just that comfort, being comfortable enough to have those conversations, to write those conversations, and they're not even really what you call small talk. They're adding a huge amount of information to the
yeah,
viewer.
exactly.
What
And
do you
it,
think?
it it doesn't need to be like massive of dialogue, but the dialogue they did in this movie, it worked to impact, the story and make you care about the other characters around Eric.
Hmm.
And they did that really well in this movie. And again, a lot of stuff in this movie was changed. Um, and they did it for the better because this was one of the few times at that time that it worked. These
Hmm.
days we don't know what would happen if this version was created today, because we know how people are today complaining about everything.
Hmm.
Right. And that's what
Um,
it would have been all about. They'd be sitting around going, "Oh, how horrible our lives
yeah,
is!
exactly.
Can you believe? Why are we going
Can
out there and doing
can
this for
you
these evil
can you
people?"
believe that dialogue? Did you see that? This is disrespectful. I'm
Yeah.
offended.
And that's why I've been saying many times that if this version was created in this era, I am afraid that this movie would not sell. I'm afraid that it wouldn't do well, because people would been so focused on the comic itself, right?
Right.
But back in that time, even James O'Barr agreed with this at that time. And we know a lot of the people today they would trash him for saying that, if it was this time.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but he said also back in that time that he liked the changes. He agreed with the changes, and the
Right.
movie did so much better than the comic itself at that time. And that's how much impact this movie had back at that time. I know it also had a lot big impact what happened with Brandon Lee, but for a lot of other people, it was also because of the movie itself, the impact of the movie itself, and what they provided with the movie.
And gentlemen, it
Yo.
is time to head over to the Rumble side. But before we do,
Oh,
any last thoughts on the movie?
It's a
the
10 out of
movie.
10. One of the best movie. It is legit the best movie ever created. And no other movies can beat that movie. If you have not seen the original Crow with Brandon Lee from 1994,
What?
I
What?
highly
What? Rebel
recommend
Moon.
it. I highly recommend it. I think you're gonna have a great time watching it. It makes you think about what you have in life. It makes you think about your beliefs and so many other aspects that you're gonna start thinking about and feel, in my opinion. And it's just a really unique film, and they did something that really wasn't that big at the time, and they did it in a really unique, different way. The way they did it, and I appreciate the movie so much. Before we go to Rumble and all that, I just want to. It's just a movie that really means so much to me. Again, this was the first movie I bought as a kid with my
Hmm.
own money, and the good memory of that is that I went to a store where I live right now when I was a kid, and that store was 18 plus, basically, like 15, 18 plus, mostly 18 plus and stuff like that. And kids like me were not normally welcomed, right? You had to be a grown up to
Yeah.
go in there because they had a lot of R-rated stuff and some other stuff that you can think about, of course. um but the guy who did run the shop, he liked me so much that he loved me having me there, and he had someone to talk about movies and other stuff with. And he's one of the reasons that I really got into collecting and buying movies and getting into a lot of these kind of stuff. So this movie also, it's not just that I love this movie. It's also the memory I have with this movie from that time as a kid. He's the one who did help me to learn a lot about The Crow as a younger child because he was a big fan of it too. And I just got to learn so much from that guy. And unfortunately, we don't have the shop anymore. It's many, many years ago. I was probably like 8 years old or something, 9 years old, 10 years old, and all this kind of stuff, right? So I
Mhm.
was pretty young, pretty young. Um, and it is the memory of it. It is a story and everything with it, and no, it's just goddamn fantastic.
It's a very good movie. The cinematography is great. The
Yes, yes.
story doesn't try to add too much to it to where you lose track of what's going on.
It
You
was
lose
like,
track of the reason
yeah,
why he's been
it kept
resurrected.
intact through the whole story. It kept intact with the whole story, and I'm really happy they did that. It didn't go all over the place, and it's just really great. And
Yeah.
No
yeah,
CGI.
no
Oh, no
All,
CGI.
CGI at
all
all.
practical.
Yeah.
And this was
Oh,
also one of the first
All
times.
practical, shot on
Yeah,
film. How things are
and
shot on digital now. You could still
also what
see
they did with
the
Brandon.
mastery of shooting movies on film.
Yeah, and especially with Brandon also when we had the guy who creates the John Wick movies now. When he was the body double for Brandon, that was one of the first times in cinema they started with the whole, not CGI in general, but copying faces and trying to do this kind of stuff. So you wouldn't see that he was a body double.
Hmm.
You could kind of understand it in certain scenes when you don't see his face, but in certain scenes where you see just a little bit of his face, it's not him. In certain scenes, so they did also that really well with practical and all that kind of stuff, makeup,
Well,
practical,
think
and
about it. The guy's is a body double. Same height, similar build,
they were
and
really similar in the face too at the time.
yeah,
So it worked out really, really well for him with that.
yes. So, is there anything that anybody wants to promote before we go exclusively to
Um,
Rumble?
Uh, well, on Thursday, of course, you can also find Cash and Baron on The Beyond, where we're going to talk about some stuff and have a great time and all that kind of stuff. And Friday, I will be with Comic
between
Relief Crusader and do the same old, talk about some funny news. The last funny news that we talked about, I was actually happy that I found it. Actually found one of the funny news for once on the show. And that was about a college or something that got a stone
They got rid
removed.
of a boulder because they were saying it was
It's
racist.
racist. Yes, it was really vile, really fun. We made a lot of fun of it. So you can find me there. We will be back with the Skullcast at some point. Just waiting for Tom to go off his break, and I've been kind of taking a little break myself here and there. I have kind of needed it, I have, started feeling that, working is like everything that I do. I needed to get some time to watch some stuff and try to catch up with some stuff that I wanted to watch and read. And I do before we go. I want Pacific. I saw Transformers One.
Hold on, hold on, hold on! Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
I'm not gonna
I,
spoil
I,
anything of the
I,
movie.
I the only reason I got something special before we're exclusively on Rumble that we're exiting the YouTube side with. So don't say anything.
Okay,
You, 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 you can say it once we're on the Rumble side. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun,
I was just
dun,
gonna say I
dun.
like the movie.
Well,
too much.
I'm not saying anything yet. Although
Yeah,
Yes.
those who voted on a recent poll, they
yeah,
know. But
yeah. I'm just gonna say
did something a little special for
I'm just gonna
our
say,
outro.
I like Transformers 1. It's not completely my thing because it was too kidly for me, you know, a little bit too kidly in that kind of sense. You know how I am.
I know.
I like the anime
Unfortunately, we know
style.
how you are, but continue. Yes.
Yeah,
You
I like
opened
more of the
yourself to that
anime
one.
style
Yeah.
and the more
Mhm.
Japanese style and the Japanese stuff. But other than that, it's a really great movie in my opinion. Just gonna say, I think it's a even though I don't like
Wow.
everything because of it's a childish on certain parts, but I can see through those kind of parts, and the story is intact. I don't understand all the critics that hates it. I just want to say I really enjoyed it, and I will say I might buy the movie on Blu-ray also because I did enjoy it.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
not more into Transformers
Wow,
stuff,
dude.
okay?
Wow, man.
What I'm gonna
Then
say.
he's gonna go outside and he sees a
Um,
transformer. It's crazy.
Slowly, we will help Jace decide between Comic Relief Crusader and myself which faction he relates to. Is he an
Oh,
Autobot or Decepticon?
I think he's a
You're evil.
Decepticon.
You're evil, man.
I think he's a Decepticon. Yeah, seems about right.
I
As long as
know he
there's
is.
no wheelie,
It-
I'm
He's
happy.
he's secretly Starscream. He's the real Starscream. That's what's going on.
As
Wow.
long as there's no wheelie, I am happy.
yeah, he hated Willie watching Transformers the movie.
Yeah.
Man.
But thank you again for
Well,
let us
thank you,
do this.
Jason. And if you
A
can,
lot of
please
fun.
stick with us for the Rumble side.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Baron, go ahead, promote.
Well, I mean, Jay's kind of took a lot from what I was going to say because he's here and I'm usually promoting the show. By the way, that is at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time to 6:30. All depends
Thank
on when it's Norwegian Standard Time over
Yeah,
at
I
Cheese
hate that
Boxes
that the
514.
time zones and stuff like that, that was just made up to fuck with me.
Sure it
It
was.
was specifically for you, just
Yeah,
specifically for you.
yeah. They thought of you, Jason. They're like, yeah, let's fuck up the time zones. Screw 'em
Yes.
up. Yeah.
So being that you took that off my shoulders, I don't have to worry about that no more. But I do have to worry about this on Monday. Please go to my channel, Fandom Legacy, our Baron Orman Tagge's Fandom Legacy. At 5 o'clock will be the premiere of the latest episode of Contraband Police. Let's see what shenanigans I get involved with on this beautiful socialist Soviet bolt into paradise. So please join for that. And I will do this for Cash because he usually pawns it off on me, anyways. Please join us for a Rumble exclusive series because we let our snootiness out in this aspect, but cranky old fans over on Cash Money Madness only on Rumble. Please join us. It'll be 8 o'clock Pacific time and 10 o'clock Central time.
Very good.
So again, yeah, see, I can be trained. I can be trained. So please join us Tuesday night between those times on Cash Money Madness on Rumble and hear what we pontificate about. Back to you, Mike.
Cash, go ahead and promote what's coming up on the Phantom Hooligans.
Yes, the Phantom Hooligans. So just in a few days, Friday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be playing some more of State of Decay 2. Everything worked out well. Yeah. And we're going to be helping Baron's community this time. That's what the goal is. So we're going to be helping him building up his community. Should be fun. And so we'll be playing that for that's right. We'll be playing that for at least a few hours, and then I've got a video coming out, but it's not quite done yet, unfortunately. As I said, it's just I've said this for the last few days, but I have to make sure I
Yeah,
don't curse too much. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. You like to use that excuse a lot. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm serious, Baron. I'm really this video is just I'm hoping it doesn't drive me crazy. I don't know if I
Don't
should
be
have taken
crazy,
on this
man.
task, but it's fine.
Your chin is gonna grow if you get more crazy. Can't
Yes, I
handle
know.
that power.
I know, but that's fine. Um, Yeah, so that's so yes, that Velma video will be coming out soon, not yet, but soon. And
He
then
loves it, by the
yeah,
way,
so
folks.
and of course the State of Decay stream on Friday is going to be of course on the Phantom Hooligans and then Cashmoney007
Hooligans.
over on Twitch or Booligans for this month. So yeah. That's just what's coming up right now and back to you, Mike.
All right. What's coming up on Pacific414 for tomorrow is Will This Game Make Me Scream? That's
Yes.
right. I'm going to be playing Alien Isolation for the first time on stream. I've played a little bit offline just to get used to the controls and a few other mechanics in the game. So that'll be coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern time on both the YouTube and Rumble channels. And then Sunday, we will have our Sunday edition of Pacific414 Pop Talk. And then next week, it's definitely going to be more Batman Arkham Knight. And most likely, it's going to be more Alien Isolation for next week. So those will occur at 6 p.m. Eastern Time next week on Tuesday and Thursday, along with the Wednesday edition of Pop Talk at 6 p.m. Eastern. And as far as our next watch party in a couple of weeks, well, you're about to find out what it is if you don't know already. And for everybody who joined us tonight, I do want to say thank you real quick because I really do appreciate everybody stopping by, taking time out of their day to do so. First, I want to thank the Long Suffering. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Keep Baron in line.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, keeping you in line, it's not an easy job.
No, it's not. It's not. Poor lady.
And Lady Mist, thank you. Really appreciate you joining us tonight for this excellent movie. I definitely want to add it to my collection now. And I'm serious about that.
I know you are.
Good.
I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking, yeah.
You're wrong. Good to see you.
I swear.
And Tits and Ray Guns, thank you very much.
Nice.
Of course, we also had James. Good to see you. Phil McCracken.
Yeah.
No, Phil, the show wasn't pre-recorded. We were live. We were just dealing with restream problems.
Yeah.
They're like dealing with you problems.
And I also want to thank Janet from Another Planet for joining us tonight. And until next time, everybody, take care. Those of you on Rumble, stick around. We will be back here shortly. And here is what our watch party will be on November 6th.
What?
So here we go.
For thousands of years, we have been at war. But before, we were enemies. We were like brothers.